Okay, drop everything you're doing. I need you to pledge to me now. Listen, comment down below. You have 1 week. Comment down below. This game is not 3D World. I'm playing Bowser's Fury today, but I want to play 3D World in the future. Comment down below if you think they're the same game. Technically, technically, you boot them through the same game on Nintendo Switch launcher, right? Like you go on the Nintendo Switch and it's Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. But Bowser's Fury is a different game, right? Same engine, I'll freely admit that. But I am not playing 3D World right now. Shake on it, shake on it. Comment down below. The comments are a poll. And if you comment that it is 3D World, then I'm not going to play 3D World. If you comment that this is not 3D World, then in the future I'm going to play 3D World. And each comment counts as one vote. Even if you comment multiple times and you're the same person, it's a different vote every time. Mainly because we're going to drive engagement and get this to be the most popular video on my channel. So comment down below, is this 3D World? And while you're have I played 3D World? I don't think I've played 3D. I played 3D Land. 3D Land is the one I played. While you're commenting that down below, let me tell you, this is a really fun game. It's 3D World movement, but it's better because they actually made it a lot better in the Switch version. And it's like a small little, it's like a taster. It's like, here's your like 2-hour-long 3D Mario. Like it's not like a full-on 64 or Mario Galaxy deal, but it's fun. Like it's a good game. I've really enjoyed playing this. The times that I have played through it, and I'm just so glad we got it. Cause like I would have bought genuinely. I'm such a like, you know, Nintendo owns me. Cause I would have bought this if it was just, you know, if it was just 3D World. I would have bought 3D World. The fact that we got plus Bowser's Fury was just icing on the cake. But no, there's a very, very good chance I would have bought this anyway. Because, you know, I have a Wii U, and yeah, I have 3D World, but I could have it on the Switch. I could have it on the Switch, and so, yeah, I'll happily give Nintendo more money. It's bad. I'm not going to do that. When it comes to the next one, Switch Pro, whatever it is, like Switch 2, I'm not going to immediately throw my money at it. Because I think, like, you know, Nintendo, they've had their fair few controversial practices. And, you know, honestly, I mean, if they release a new Smash game, I'm still going to buy the new console. But I'm not going to jump into it. I want them to prove themselves first. Like, show me that it's worth it for me to buy this. Because at the time when the Switch came out, it was just like the next Nintendo console. They had Breath of the Wild, but if I wanted to play that, I could have played it. I could have played it on my Wii U. So like, they hadn't really proven themselves by the time that I had bought it. It was still just like, oh, this is the next Nintendo console. I'm just gonna get this. And I feel like that's a bad like mindset as a consumer, because then you just end up like buying a bunch of shit. So we're gonna try not to do that, and I want you to pledge not to do that either, or just don't buy the console entirely. Like if you don't care about Nintendo, then it's easy, right? But when you like play Nintendo your whole life and you're like, oh, the new Nintendo thing's out, obviously I want to buy it. I want to experience the next like generation of Nintendo, but we gotta hold off for a bit. We gotta hold off. We'll see how that lasts. I don't know. Maybe they'll announce it and it'll look awesome, and I'll be like, I'm getting this. No games announced? Oh, it's only re-releases? Sure. Oh, GameCube 2? Game Tesseract? Sure, I'll buy the Game Tesseract. Have my money, Nintendo. We're entering the 4th dimension of Mario? Sure, Mario 4D. Yeah, I don't know. But this game's fun. In other news, I really like how you can kind of like bunny hop. Like if you jump and you like slightly turn, you do like gain speed basically infinitely. I don't know if it's literally infinite, but if there's a max speed, I'm not like good enough to get to it. And you can go tremendously fast. I always find it really fun because even though I'm not good at it, whenever there's a big open space, which Bowser's Fury is full of, I get to kind of like, you know, use that speed a little, you know, to the best of my ability. And I find mechanics like that in platformers really fun because it rewards skill and it lets you like move super fast, like stuff like cruise boosting. Cruise boosting, I think, is super duper fun, just on the basis that, like, you get to move super fast through the environments and stuff, and you can, like, you know, platforming slowly is fun. Platforming fastly, it feels like it takes, like, so much skill to do that it's, like, really rewarding. I mean, it depends on the game. Some games are, like, built around fast platforming, and then it oftentimes, because of that, it feels less rewarding. But like in a game that's not necessarily built for it, but there's like exploits or glitches to go faster, and they require you to like have a lot of control over your character, I live for that stuff. That stuff is so fun to me. Like, I'm not very good at Battle for Bikini Bottom, but like setting up a cruise boost and then just like platforming through Jellyfish Fields or something, when I'm not good at this, but you know, I will happily do the same section of the level over and over again, trying to get like the perfect run through. Like, I find that so fun. I really want to speedrun Battle for Bikini Bottom, but it's so hard to learn. I learned the first like 2/3 of the run, like up to the point where you unlock the cruise boosting, because you need both the cruise bubble and the bowling ball to do a cruise boost. For those of you who don't know Battle for Bikini Bottom, cruise boosting is a technique that allows you to, what's it called? It allows you to like stack speed from outside forces onto your current speed. So like, you get like a constant speed forward. The way you usually set it up is you run against a wall, and your sideways speed from going into the wall and it pushes you sideways, you can stack that on as forward momentum, and then platform around with like extra speed. And there's ways to get faster cruise boosts than that as well. There's various ways to like get faster cruise boosts. There's ICB, there's LCB, stuff like that. It's not super important what the different kinds are, but yeah. Hitting a fast cruise boost and then just like platforming through the level, it's super fun. But when I got to that point of the game, when I was trying to learn how to speedrun it, I found it really challenging to do cruise boosts reliably, because they're 2 frame perfect inputs. Like, it doesn't sound that hard, you just press 2 buttons on the same frame. Like, that is easy. Like, it's not that hard to do. The part of it that was difficult was you know, timing that so that you gain the maximum amount of speed. You don't need to always get the maximum amount of speed, obviously, but very frequently there are jumps and tricks that require you to get at least X amount of speed, or you can't cross a certain gap in the level. And first of all, it's hard to eyeball it. It's a very like high skill trick, because it's hard to eyeball how much speed you got. I'm sure that comes with practice. But the second part of it is like, it's super duper hard to get that speed consistently. I mean, you can just practice it. It's not that like ridiculous. And you see like everyone, like all the top 100 runs are under an hour. All of those people have gotten very good at cruise boosting. Like, you need to be good to beat it that quickly. And then the people in the top 10, in the top 20, those people will be exceptionally good at that specific trick. And you can play the game without cruise boosts. There's a category for it, but cruise boosts are so cool. The no cruise boost category actually is very cool, like, to watch. They make use of a lot of more like different bugs, because as soon as cruise boost is unlocked, it is like the focus point of the run. It's so like centralizing, which is what makes Any% really cool to watch. And I do think you should go take a look at the Any% world record for it. And what makes that so cool to watch is the fact that most of the run, like 2/3 of the run, is without cruise boosting, and then they unlock it near the end and they get to do all the crazy stuff. I think that's really fun. I think that's really fun, and then you look at 100%, they unlock cruise boosting relatively early on. Obviously it's unlocked at the same point, but there's just more of 100%, because you collect 70 spatulas in any percent, you collect 100 in 100%, so, you know, there's just more games, so you spend more time with the cruise boost. I still think it's cool. 100% is really fun to watch, but I do think any percent is probably the best, like, one to spectate for most people, probably. I would say, like, I like watching any percent. I prefer watching 100% attempts, though, because watching any percent attempts, they're both really reset heavy if you're watching, like, the world record holder, Shift. Like, he will reset a lot because he has very high standards, you know, because he's the world record holder. But I really enjoy watching 100% because the reset points in the run are so, like, high tension. It's like, oh my god, is he gonna hit this trick? And it's like this whole, like, okay, we're locked in as soon as, like, you know, stuff like Swingerless, you know, stuff like that. Like, once that's hit, it's like, okay, you know, we're doing this. It's, to me, it's really exciting. But yeah, it's just a sick game. It's one of my favorite games to spectate, and I hope that at some point in the future I follow through with learning how to play it fully, because it is really good. It is really good. And then here we go. The main selling point of Bowser... Well, I don't know about main selling point, but the main gimmick of Bowser's Fury. You become the Super Saiyan Great Ape Mario, except you're a cat, not an ape. But he is Super Saiyan. Look at this! You get to be in, like, a kaiju fight with Bowser. It's so cool. I remember when this was revealed just thinking, like, oh my goodness, like, what even is this game anymore, right? We're playing, like, kaiju fights and... Oh, what's that? There's a game that's like War of the Monsters or something. It's like, you play as these giant kaiju and it's a fighting game. It's like a PS2 game, I think. It's not that good, but it's like... It reminds me a lot of this, because you just tower over all of the environments, and there's destructible environments in that game. War of the Monsters? I really don't remember what it's called, but it's something like that. And it's a really cool game. It's not great as a fighting game, but like as a casual game, you know, just to like, you know, be a giant fucking monkey and beat up a dinosaur or something, like stuff like that. It's fun. It's not like a balanced fighting game. I don't think every fighting game necessarily needs to be, because like the main audience of that game, and like I would say like a lot of old games, old fighting games, like the main audience they're going for with like Mortal Kombat and shit is the casual players. Like the casual players are a huge part of their audience. Nowadays, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, they're playing more into the competitive side. And the competitive players are, you know, they're getting more like attention because they're putting up these millions of dollars rewards and stuff for the like Capcom stuff. You know, back in the day, you just fucking beat the shit out of someone. You know, it wasn't, you know, it was competitive, but it was like casual competitive. It was competitive within the set of friends that you're playing with, and I don't know. I think that, like, playing fighting games for that is really cool. The only trouble is, a lot of the friends I have that are down to play fighting games are also better than me.